said what?
How could they do something like that?
Are you serious?
What a thirsty MFer.
Not good. She's absolutely dead to me.
That's because she died.
I'm Sterling Mulberry.
And I'm Blair Payton. And welcome to
Bad Behavior, a morally questionable podcast.
We're two unqualified friends,
Two unhinged comedians,
determined once and for all what is good
and what is bad. Hi, Blair.
Hello, Sterling.
How are you?
I am so wonderful, and it's so wonderful to be in your presence on this beautiful day, getting ready to podcast everyone's faces off with bad behavior.
God.
What
a nightmare.
I just did a wonderfully warm opening, and the fact that you attacked
I'm
me.
so sorry.
Bad behavior, I'm calling
you're so
it.
right. You're so right. I'm feeling a little, not my best today, I'll be honest.
Oh, what's wrong? What's going on, baby girl?
No, I'm a little hungover.
This is no way I'm not hungover. Have you ever thought... I wanted to ask you about this, so I guess it's a perfect segue. So on Instagram, I get served ads for a million things. I'll probably get served it today once we leave.
Yeah.
But it's this... Should I name the brand or no? I'm not going to talk positively about it, so probably not.
Okay, maybe not.
But
we can't.
I answered it.
We can't ever...
unless they want to
about a potential sponsor.
Yeah, if they sponsor the show, I'll totally lie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. No, it was this stuff, and it was always on Instagram, and it's supposed to be like wine, but without the alcohol. So you're
so juice.
No, it has like adaptogens in it and like other shit that's supposed.
I don't even know what that word is.
I don't either.
Okay,
I think it's healthy, but it's supposed to give you the feeling of having wine without the negative side effects. Anyways, I bought it.
All right.
And it tasted like... Have you ever like just walked in a room that's filled with wood?
Yeah. I've been to a cabin.
Yeah, a cabin, yeah. Well, it tasted like, imagine tasting that smell. That.
All right.
So it's not great.
Okay.
That's my story.
Oh, okay.
So, but if you wanted to find it, because you're an alcoholic, if you wanted to find an alternative for your problem, you should try this stuff. I'll give you the name off air.
Oh, God. No, I was thinking today because I was like, not feeling my best. And I was like trying to remember when I was feeling this hungover. And honestly, Blair, I think it might have been with you in 2019.
Is it the time you pulled me into the...
Porta potty?
Porta potty, yeah.
Okay, so in 2019...
Porta potties are small, just to preface.
Small, and I did make him... You know how everyone's like, oh, girlies pee together. Yeah, well, I take it to a whole new level. I said, Blair, get in here. And we were in... It was a regular-sized porta potty that I made you pee with me in.
You were like, go with me to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was like, just drunk enough to... I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so I went, and you just like... You sat down, started doing your business.
No, I definitely was squatting. I would never sit.
You were bent.
Yeah, I was bent.
You were bent. So at that point, you're sitting, I guess. But like you just launched into this full conversation. I was like, you know what? This is not what I thought it would be. And I
loved it. And from that day forward, anytime I'd go to the bathroom, I'd be like, Blair.
Do you remember that bathroom at that restaurant that had two toilets side by side with no wall?
Okay, so for Blair's birthday one year, we went out.
It was a hookah bar,
this, like, really, really good Chinese restaurant in the East Village, and then we went to this, a hookah bar. And we go downstairs to go to the bathroom. Regular. We open up, and I'm talking. This is a one bathroom, no stalls. We open up the door that should be like a single bathroom. There are two toilets side by side, and we're like. Huh? It was like we were truly cackling the whole rest of the night.
Like, I feel like that's actually like something for...
That was a fun birthday. That was a fun night.
It was. But I feel like those...
Okay, Blair hated it.
No, it was. But I'm just like, those toilets are meant for people who are like in true love.
In true love.
You know?
Not us.
Like they can't separate and they're like, let's deuce. Love. It's not true.
Not true.
Because I don't want to see anything you got going on.
Oh, my God.
And I got a little bit of a rash happening, and I don't think you want to see that.
Anyways.
All right. Well, on that note, let's bring in our guest. You know him from the successful off-Broadway show Solo, a show about friendship, currently running at the Soho Playhouse in Lower Manhattan till the end of the month. We have a ticket link in our bio. Be sure to get your tickets. Please make welcome the hilarious Gabe Mollica.
Well, hello.
Hello.
And welcome. Thank you
Hi.
so much for coming on today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. You got me out of my bed, out of my room. This is fantastic.
Great.
I needed you today.
So
good.
basically, if we had not called you in for this,
Yeah, where would you be?
I would be no clothes or just sweatshirt, lying in bed, wouldn't do anything.
Now, I'm gonna ask, how do you
What?
sleep? Naked, with clothes, underwear? What's your
1
go-to?
minute in. 1 minute in.
No, this is a great question. Usually boxers. I remember I stopped.
So
drinking.
boxers and no shirt.
Usually.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, it depends.
Well, I feel like
though.
that's kind of usual now.
I like to have
I
a
don't know.
top on because I just even alone I'm self-conscious. I'm working on it with my
the
therapist.
spiders are gonna see. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I hear that.
I want to ask you a question
Please.
that relates to actually what the show is, bad behavior. How do you approach bad behavior?
So in life, I talk about these moments as gym to the camera moments in the office.
Okay.
Where you need somebody to make eye contact with, can you believe that was said?
Yeah.
So it's usually that sometimes manifests, unfortunately, I apologize, in a side text. Where it's usually to my
okay.
buddy Nick, we're I can't believe so-and-so just said that. That's so shitty. It's a little catty, I know.
But do you ever fear that one of my biggest fears is that I'll say that and send it to the person I'm talking about.
Of course, that's that's a massive fear. And it's happened. Everyone, right?
Has that happened to you? It hasn't happened to me yet that I can remember.
Oh goodness. I definitely have sent the wrong text, talking about my mom, and so I send it to my mom. It hasn't been so aggressive.
Okay. Well, can you say what was said?
I can say one I got on the wrong end of.
Yeah,
You ready for
perfect.
this one?
Mm-hmm.
My mom one time sent me a text that was meant for my father that said, come home for steak and sex. And I was in the next room and I was like, Mom? And she went, oh my God, Gabe, I'm so sorry. It was a joke. We were having fun. I was like, oh, you guys are funny. Because I'm home. There's no, there's definitely steak, but there was nothing.
Okay.
Sex.
I think that's great because they're still very active. But my mind immediately went to we need to talk. I'm leaving you. That's where my mind went.
Oh, wow.
Wait, steak and sex is I'm leaving you?
No, before he got to the steak and sex part, I thought she
oh,
was going to say I'm leaving you
Oh,
in a text, which I'm like, Deborah, come on.
Would be hilarious because my parents are such boomer texters. So
Yeah.
it'd be I'm leaving you, 2 spaces, 2 exclamation marks.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. I feel I can't really remember, but I definitely have done a classic screenshot of the text conversation and then sent it in that conversation, and you're like, how do I come back from this? And you're like, oops, phone being weird. I don't know. That one's really tough.
Well, here's a fun fact. This is how my brother-in-law found out I was gay, as aside from it being blatantly obvious. So years ago, back when I was living in my hometown, I had moved in with a crush. Big mistake. Don't ever do that. I liked him, but he was dating someone, but I was like, I'll make it work. I was an idiot. But his name was the same as my brother-in-law's at the time. So in the middle of the night, I was drunk and I'm like, this seems like a good time to text him and let him know my feelings. So I sent a text, but I send it to the wrong person.
Classic.
But he never said anything.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm sure it was not G-rated.
yeah.
It was probably
Did your
TV-14.
brother-in-law say anything back, or just kind of
I mean, after I came out, he was like, yeah, I know, you sent me a text. I was like,
Oh, so you didn't even realize.
I never knew I did it.
Oh. Wow.
Hilarious. And he's like, I had evidence. It's you could have figured it out.
Well, because he told my sister, he was like, I think your brother's gay. And she was like, why do you say that? And he was like, read this. And I was like, wow, that's great.
I love how your sister was like, huh?
Well, my sister, this is a whole other story for another time, but she thought I was asexual for the longest time because I was like, I can't find the right girl. But it was with a dick, So.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're off Broadway.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I'm doing a solo show.
Yeah.
That I've been working on for years and years and years, and I did it at all these little fringe festivals all over the world for almost no people. And so when you do it for no people, you just use real names of the people in the story, and then you get written out in the New York Times. I'm like, I got to change these names.
Tell us how the show came about.
When I was living in Edinburgh, and we can talk about this at greater length, but my best friend and my girlfriend kind of fell in love, and the next day I started to do stand up. And so I started stand-up knowing, oh, I'm going to do a solo show like Mike Birbiglia. It wasn't like most of those guys, they do 10 years of stand-up and then they pivot. Mm-hmm. I was going to open mics being like, how does this joke about rice cakes like fit my narrative? And so, but comedy is really hard. You have to get the reps in of just doing comedy, just doing stand-up. So for like 5-6 years, like I was kind of straddling both. And then eventually I just like wrote down all my jokes and wrote down all my stories and like combined them.
Yeah.
And then this past year it really started to come together in that my mom got sick. She's fine.
Okay.
But my friends, my like buddies who I hang out with from Long Island, like didn't know what to do. And so I started thinking about the show as a friendship show. And so I started with the premise of like, oh, I don't have friends. And once I started opening the show by being like, this is a show about how I don't have friends, literally got a newspaper review the first time I said that in Canada. That was like, this is a show about a man with no friends. I was like, I guess this is what the show's about.
Okay. Yeah, like what is the worst show you've ever done?
I did a show in Edinburgh and I got this couple and, you know, it's like a classic, like the woman's really into it and the guy's kind of like standoffish and, you know hetero people.
Yeah, we're familiar.
I'm familiar.
And the guy in the middle of the show starts doing like one of those like finger puzzles, like from middle school where it'd be like blue, B-L-U-E, like one of those. And so I'm like in the middle of the thing, I was like, hey man, like you can't do that. And I was very nice to him. And afterwards he went up to me and I think because like his girlfriend was like mad at him that he like distracted me.
Yeah.
And he was like, don't ever fucking talk to me like that again. Sorry, can I swear?
Oh,
don't ever talk to me like that again. Like you're a piece of shit. Like I hate you. And he dropped some money in the bucket and stormed out. And so
but I will say, to tie it to the show theme, you saw bad behavior happening and you attacked it.
That's crazy. I'm sorry, a grown man having that in his pocket.
I don't know.
What is going on?
Yeah, are you a super macho dude or are you a guy that does the finger puzzle?
Feel the whoa with Listerine at BJ's. You can save $2.50 now on Listerine products like Total Care Anti-Cavity Fluoride Fresh Mint Mouthwash or Cool Mint Pocket Packs Fresh Breath Strips at your nearest BJ's location. Experience the feeling of a million germs zapped in seconds with Listerine. Discount available through December 24th. Save now only at BJ's.
Dan Mancini from Mama Mancini's. My grandmother cherished the family meal. It was a time to relax and enjoy a delicious, wholesome dinner together. It's our mission to deliver authentic Italian recipes made with the same real ingredients my grandmother used. Mama Mancini's classic Italian meatballs and slow-cooked sauce is available in the deli department at your local Publix and supermarkets across the country. Fully cooked and ready to serve, just heat and eat. Visit MamaMancini's.com to find the closest store near you.
We have a little game we like to call Heaven or Hell on this podcast. This is a game where you are going to rate on a scale of 1 being hell, 10 being heaven, where you think these behaviors lie. And because your show is all about friendship, these are going to be some behaviors kind of surrounding friendship and where you kind of think that they lie. Blair, do you want to kick us off?
I would love to.
One?
Thank you so much, Sterling. So the first one, a friend spontaneously FaceTimes you.
Is that heaven or hell for you?
Oh, I don't like that. 1 is hell?
1's hell.
That's a 3.5 for me.
Oh, okay.
We're not that type of people. You text me and see if I'm taking calls.
When it happens, what is your first response? Like, what do you do?
So this gets into an important thing about my show, which is that straight men do not emote or share. Like, my friends do not FaceTime me. Okay. I would be like, something's wrong.
This one FaceTimes.
I love
And even though we're friends, I have to get the lighting to be good.
No, I'm constantly, I am surprised FaceTiming anyone I can get my hands on.
I hate it.
Don't you just feel like it's, I mean, not anyone I can get my, that sounds literally like I'm doing a strangers. No, but I just feel like I love to FaceTime. I love to FaceTime a friend. And if I get a FaceTime, I'm just overjoyed.
Well, no, because you're putting in more work because you're having to hold the phone at your face.
No, I understand. But
like, if you just call me and I have you on like my headset, I can walk, I can roam. I'm free.
Okay, but we're thinking about you. You're doing.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. We're already getting.
Mine's 1.
Mine's a 10. Unless it's like someone I really hate, then I'm like, what? But I've never had that.
I often, when I see other people do it, I'm like, that's healthy. We have this technology. You can see your best friend. You can see their face.
Yeah.
And I don't do it. I just like am in my room
So, okay, if you're getting a random FaceTime, are you like kind of hanging up? Are you saying like, because I feel I have a lot of friends who hate it, that they're like, what's up? ? And you're like, so you are around.
I'm that person.
And I'm like, you could. Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'll lie and say I'm on the toilet. I'll text you back.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So what do you usually do?
Usually I'm pretty honest. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm like,
so you answer and say, I don't want to do this?
No, I'll text them. I'll not accept and be like, or like, I can't right now. But like, I definitely can.
That's healthy. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Phil.
No.
Dr. Phil has a talk show where he gives advice, like very sound advice.
Yeah.
And it's all about like setting healthy boundaries. And that's what you're doing.
So you're saying he's Dr. Phil? The worst thing you can be? Okay, number 2.
No, he's being what Dr. Phil espouses.
Yeah. All right.
But you're connected to Dr. Phil. That's got to be pretty
That's
good.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the money.
Okay, number 2. A friend bringing their significant other to dinner without telling you.
Ooh, you gotta tell me, because that changes the whole vibe.
100%.
It's a vibe shift.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask an annoying follow-up question
No,
that you may not have thought of. Is it like their spouse, or is it like a new significant other?
I will say it's a significant other you've definitely met before. It's not like a first time meeting them. I wouldn't say it's a spouse. I'm gonna say it's a girlfriend, boyfriend.
Yeah, you're definitely not FaceTime.
Like, I feel like a spouse, you're going to be like, oh, likely the spouse is coming most of the time, I guess. This would be like a good friend. You've definitely like hung out, met their significant other, but they're just are starting to bring them without even asking.
I'm against anyone changing the vibe of what I thought I was walking into. Let it be a pet. Let it be like my buddy Nick went out to dinner recently with these like his wife's like rich friends or whatever, and they brought their like poodle, and he was like, no, now I'm with a poodle guy. It's bad enough you brought me to this restaurant I didn't want to go to.
How yappy was the poodle?
Not, but it was the attention.
Okay. But yeah,
it was like, oh no.
Was it outdoor or indoor?
Oh, it was indoor. This is the Plaza. It was like the fancy restaurant. Like,
I'm familiar.
Yeah,
I can't even believe they would let that in.
I think when you sit at the bar for hours and like spend a ton of money on drinks and shit,
they're like, you can bring
in
your dog.
Yeah. They're like, do you want us to walk your dog for you?
That's how the other half lives.
Okay, so what number are you giving this?
Ooh, this I don't like. This is even lower than the FaceTime. This is a 2.
You can go into negatives if required.
Yeah.
I love this.
We're not picking. Okay.
I'm going to say a 2 for me. Dog.
Friend flaking on plans 30 minutes before on a Thursday night, a Friday night, or a Saturday
So we
night.
want different rankings for each night. And you could say that it's the same ranking for all, or if there's maybe any variety.
Ooh, okay. Thursday I am super fine with because I probably got shit to do the next day, and I'm like, someone else cancels plans. That's sometimes that's really nice.
Yeah.
Right.
A weekend, those are kind of more valuable.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough. That's lower. So I would say on a Thursday, that's like a 6 or 7 for me.
Okay.
We go into the Friday, Saturday zone. That's going into like the 2, 3.
Yeah. And is there any difference between a Friday or Saturday night?
Saturday feels like more important real estate. Right? Friday, we worked. Oh, you want to cancel? I guess I'll just.
Yeah. Okay, number 4.
Okay. A friend is throwing you a surprise birthday party.
Okay. I've thought about this.
Okay. Really?
I've thought about this recently because I didn't
Do you have a birthday coming up?
It's Valentine's Day. And I didn't have a big 30th.
Yeah.
And, I have the show. So it's always like kind of on my mind. It's like, oh, like, could that happen? And then I realize all my friends are idiots and don't have the organizational skills. So we'll never do that. I mean, I like the attention, obviously.
Yeah.
I would say, you know what? I would say that's the thing I would like.
Okay. So you're going like a 9 or 10 then?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, have your friends listen to the pod. They'll be throwing you a party in a second.
Well, so in my experience, women love to do stuff and men do not. So like
Just in general?
just anything.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a fair assessment.
like, where was it? Somebody's like surprise party where like they surprised this woman. It was Nick's wife's friend or something, and they had like heels waiting for her. They had like a makeup team waiting for her. It was like, oh, she's gonna be mad if we surprise her, and she's not like in the getup.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, wow, like that is just like not the way that I would like. Okay, we got you a button down. Like, get this away from me.
That's so funny. Okay, number 5. A friend asking to stay with you in your New York City apartment for a week.
This does happen.
Yeah.
This is a tricky one.
Can you let us know your apartment setup?
Yeah, I have 2 roommates.
Okay.
Okay. And what's your rent?
But like, do you have any like guest room? Is there like where kind of usually would a guest stay if they were to come?
We have like a giant living room.
Okay.
It's like the third floor of like a house kind of in Astoria. Mm-hmm. So in theory, like we could set somebody up pretty easily in there. I don't mind that. They could sleep on the couch. It's more of when that does happen, I have a friend from out of town who I stay with in Northern California, and he'll stay with me here. It's more like, I'd rather like go visit my parents for the weekend, and you get the apartment. You got to work. You're here to work. Like, it's fine. It all evens out. But it does add a little stress to like give up your apartment and stuff like that. That's like a 5 for me.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, and our last one. Friend calling their significant other. Oh, I already have a judge. Sorry, I was reading and answering it as
I wrote these ones.
Yeah. Friend calling their significant other their best friend.
I don't know if my friends from Long Island would say that.
Okay.
Like, it's just not their style. I don't think. It would a little give me the ick a little bit.
And what's also an insult, like I've had friends that I've, been friends with since like birth, and to automatically demote them for someone I'm, doing sex with feels unfair.
Sure, you lose.
It's like they didn't earn it. I mean, they did. I mean, because of sex, but like it's different.
I feel like there's a big thing in culture being like, I'm looking for my best friend, or like I'm looking to find my best friend. And I feel like as a girl who has a lot of, or is a best friend or has a lot of best friends, whenever I'm dating, I'm like, look, likely you're going to come and go. And my best friends have known me since I was 4 years old. And like, I don't know. I'm like, I think a significant other gets pretty much every title in the book. That's like, just let your friend have the one. Like, you could say it's one of my best friends.
Or a playmate.
But I've also been like, I also believe if your relationship ever ends, you then have to be like, I lost my significant other and my best friend. Then I'm like, just don't. Yeah. But I know some people really like calling their significant others their best friends.
Yeah, I think that's a healthy boundary. This significant other can be everything but best friend. And it is true. I think some of the earlier mistakes in my life where it's like I've dated somebody and then like my friends like disappear kind of. Where it's like, I have this amazing relationship and that always stinks because you have to go back to your friends and be like, sorry, I was like all up in that. Like,
and just imagine if it was the time of MySpace. Did you guys ever have MySpace?
I did not.
Then you have to readjust your topic. And that's rough.
Feel the whoa with Listerine at BJ's. You can save $2.50 now on Listerine products like Total Care Anti-Cavity Fluoride Fresh Mint Mouthwash or Cool Mint Pocket Packs Fresh Breath Strips at your nearest BJ's location. Experience the feeling of a million germs zapped in seconds with Listerine. Discount available through December 24th. Save now only at BJ's.
Nice buns, soft, fluffy, and ultra-low net carbs. Discover Hero Bread, the delicious ultra-low net carb bread with incredible taste and texture. Hero Bread has 0 grams of sugar and is under 100 calories per serving. Plus, high in fiber with 5 to 10 grams of protein per serving. Order from hero.co now and get 10% off your first purchase with promo code AH10. That's 10% off with code AH10. HERO.co.
We've invited you here, and I think you know the reason. And that's because you're desperate, absolutely desperate for help with a situation. And we're experts.
We're experts. Like, I've seen 3 or 4 episodes of Dr. Phil, as we've discussed.
Yeah, and I have lived for 28 years. So do you have a story for us today that's maybe you're a little confused in which if you're in the right, the wrong, bad behavior, good behavior?
Put your hand in our hands. We want to make this intro as long as possible. Put your hand in our hands and we will guide you to the path of righteousness.
Oh, gorgeous, Blair.
Thank you.
I'm going to be as quick as possible because this is a story in the show. But I used to have a best friend and in college, and we would spend every night together, basically in a classroom, watching YouTube videos, talking shit. Not kissing, but like the straight equivalent.
Okay.
Like, what do you think 2 men do who are like intimate in a friendship way? We're doing that.
I was going to make a joke here, but it feels very dirty, and I don't know if we're there yet.
Oh, and we were sleeping with each other.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say JOs.
Okay,
I'm clean.
Keep going.
I'm clean.
And then we got a job. So he told me about what he did during the summer vacation, which is he worked at a summer camp for sick kids.
Okay.
Best job in the world. Met some amazing kids, and it's really important work. You're feel like you're making a difference in the world. And when we're there, he introduces me. He has a girlfriend. His name is Tom. He has a girlfriend.
Okay.
And he introduces me to this woman at the bar who works at the camp. And he's like, "You're gonna love her. She did high school marching band." Which is like totally
I'm sorry.
my type.
Can I just pause really quick? Your best friend.
Yeah.
He says, I have this girl, and you know why you're gonna love her? She does high school marching band.
Yeah, that's kind of my brand.
Okay, that's your brand. Okay. I just wanted to, okay.
Any particular instrument that gets you going?
Yeah.
Just like
the marching.
the fact that she would talk to me is a huge turn on.
Okay, great.
Okay, so you're at the bar.
I'm at the bar, and he's like, "You're gonna love her." And this woman Jackie is like, she's pre-med and she's a varsity athlete on scholarship, so she's like super accomplished, but she also like loves poetry, music, and books and stuff like that. So we start talking. We have this amazing time, and I'm already having like the best time in the world at the summer camp, and that my best friend brought me to. So I'm kind of like entering his world a little bit. Okay. And as the summer goes on, like they're working together in a cabin, and I'm like in a different cabin. So they're spending a lot of time together. But at night, the three of us hang out. So basically, every night, me, my best friend, and my girlfriend. But they're spending time during the day together that I don't get to see.
Wait, she's your girlfriend?
She's my girlfriend.
Now.
Yeah, we get together. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
sorry.
okay.
She marched her way into his heart.
I'm sorry, we were just at the bar.
Yeah,
and just a little
sorry.
timeline. When do we go from bar to girlfriend? Like, when do we make that label official?
That's a great question. That takes like a couple weeks of like kind of like
just two
kissing,
even.
hooking up. Yeah, but in summer camp world, you guys have worked at a summer camp?
No.
I went to
day.
church camp.
Okay.
So his timeline, I don't know if that'd be faster or slower.
It was 10 days, so you had to work quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
every day feels like a year.
Yeah.
Because you're all up in each other's stuff.
And what age are we again?
We're 22. 23.
Okay, gotcha.
Would you say you're feeling 22?
I don't know about you.
I don't know about you. Okay.
So during this time, Tom and his girlfriend break up, and I'm about to leave camp a little bit early to take my first job ever, which is in Scotland. And I don't spend a lot of time with Tom during his like grieving process, because I'm like so excited about this relationship and I'm so nervous about having to leave it.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like let him deal with that on his own. I'm kind of like not there for him as well as I could have been, as well as I would have been had I not met Jackie. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Had I not had Jackie in my life, I would have been a better friend to him.
Yeah.
But instead, I kind of ignore him. I get my first job after summer camp. So I graduate college, work at summer camp for the fall. I get a job in Scotland. I'm teaching.
Yeah. And
I'm trying to keep this like long distance relationship going, and it's very difficult, and it's not going well. And we make it somehow to Thanksgiving weekend. We break up. I'm really sad about it. And the reason I'm sad about it is because Tom and Jackie and a couple camp counselors, the plan all along was like, oh, they're going to come visit me at New Year's. So if we can make it to New Year's as a relationship, as a team, we'll basically do the summer camp.
And how long have you been long distance at this point before the breakup?
This is like met each other in June, and now it's November.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So
you met
window.
each other in June, and then you went away to Scotland
in September-ish.
Oh, dang. That's not that long.
I know. Can you believe I wrote a whole show about it?
Okay.
So so we break up. I'm sad about it. I'm like, oh, Jackie, you're still going to come for New Year's, right? And she's like, no, I'm not going to come.
Yeah.
So I'm devastated. Call Tom. Like, dude, I got broken up with. He's like, yeah, that stinks.
Okay, so you got broken up with.
I got broken up with.
Okay.
And then on top of that, and she doesn't want to come to Edinburgh for New Year's.
Can I ask one other question?
Please.
Okay. And you can also say pass. You don't have to answer.
Open book.
Did she give you a reason for the breakup? Was it just the long distance?
It was the long distance. Basically, it was the long distance. Like, this is not working. Like, I'm in school. I'm an athlete.
It just doesn't really make sense.
6 hours ahead.
And did it feel like there was any door open, like maybe right person, wrong time? Or is it just like...
There was a little bit of that. It was like, oh, this is just like a circumstance that we can't overcome. Even though like we're both like, we like each other.
Yeah. Okay.
So we break up. This is a fun little detail. That's not necessary, but you will like it. The next day, I'm in my office at work. A Scottish student comes in and goes, hey, I'm applying to college in America. I'd like some help applying to colleges. Because normally we just apply to Scottish colleges. I want to apply in America. And I go, sure, what's your name? And she goes, my name is Sarah Marshall.
Oh.
So like the romantic comedy.
Yeah.
I guess you couldn't forget her.
I'm on fire.
There you go.
No,
Maybe punch up the show. Honestly. It's not bad. So I call Tom. I'm like, I just met a kid named Sarah Marshall. I got broken up with, and he's like, "That's so weird. Like, maybe it's a sign. Maybe you should like get over it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "You're still gonna come for New Year's?" Yes. He flies for New Year's with a couple counselors. We hang out all day until midnight. We go to the middle of town to like watch the ball drop or whatever those people do. And Tom and I, we work kind of best one-on-one. We're not like we kind of like work best one-on-one because we like to talk shit about the group, those types of friends. The Jim and the camera moment where you're like, oh, like these people.
Yeah.
So he's like, we're not getting that one-on-one time. Why don't we go to the casino? We go to the casino. We lose a bunch of money. We walk back to my apartment. And once we get back to my apartment, he's like, I just need to tell you something.
Oh, God.
Jackie and I are together and we're not sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that's how it happens. We have this kind of like heated conversation. We calm down. And before he leaves, I'm very proud of this. I gave him a hug.
Yeah.
And then he leaves.
Oh, I would not have done that.
And the next day I became a comedian. And so this story, like, I think about this a lot because it's a thing I want to inject into the show a little bit more, turn this knob a little bit, which is this part of like, oh, Tom and his girlfriend broke up and I wasn't there for him, which is not to say that like my behavior means I deserve that's what happened.
Yeah.
But it makes me more culpable than like, I'm just this victim.
Yeah.
All these people like were
Right.
against me and like, I'm the hero and everyone should love me no matter what, which is like,
I don't know. I kind of like that narrative, personally speaking.
Sometimes people do. But yeah, because I think, so this is kind of at the core of the show, and I kind of say this on stage a little bit, which is like, is there a way, and I wanted to ask you guys, like, is there a way to be in a love triangle and like make that work? To like tell the person that it's affecting negatively, like, no, I still care about you. Like, what could he have done to like make this work? Is it, hey, nothing happened. I just want you to know I have feelings for this person. Should I date her? I like to think my best day, I would have been like, yeah, it hurts, but I want you to be happy. But it's like the behind the back stuff and the not sorry stuff combined being like, we can't.
The not sorry is like, just like someone yelling at my face.
Yeah.
That's the thing I don't like. Yeah. I think it's also kind of weird to be like, asking permission because they're their own person and like you don't have ownership.
Of course.
But then at the same time I understand it.
Yeah.
Like, would you be comfortable if I pursued something? Maybe.
No.
But damn, I'm not sorry. I would have been like, fuck you.
Okay, can I ask some questions about
Always.
the aftermath?
Yeah.
Okay. This is, wow. I feel like I'm going to have so much to say on all of this. Okay, so did they end up together? Are they still together?
That's a great question.
Or is this spoils your show?
It does not spoil the show.
Okay.
It was a thing that people kept asking me after the show for a long time. I didn't reveal.
Yeah.
And then I had to, because when everyone asks you afterward, you have to tell them, which is that they were engaged and then they broke up.
Because of your show.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think I have that kind of power. But yeah, they're not together from what I understand. I'm not.
But they were really I mean, I guess.
They dated for years. They were engaged.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that is my question on that is like, obviously if they only lasted a little bit of time, that's like a huge sacrifice to be making with a best friend for somebody that like ultimately is not your person. Yeah. But I guess
your best friend, if you will.
But I guess they did like have a lot of stake that's like, no, this is who I should be with.
Do you know why they broke up?
I don't. Certainly nothing firsthand.
Could we call him real quick?
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine? There are podcasts like that people have told me to go on. We're like, yeah, we get you and Tom in the same room. I'm like, that's not gonna
happen. Absolutely
Hell,
not.
hard pass.
Could you imagine the content if I did this for, I mean, I guess I'm doing it for a solo show, but like the live interaction would be too stressful.
This is just a random question, but when it happened, what song were you listening to on Spotify?
Hilarious question. It was a lot of, because I had heard it that night because it was New Year's. So it was a lot of, what's the song? The Killers.
Mr. Brightside.
Mr. Brightside was on a lot.
Okay.
It was at like the height of like Sam Smith's breakup album. So that was on a lot. Just like, so I would be in like a Scottish coffee shop and be like, not now. You know?
Okay, what was the timeline of Tom and his girlfriend breaking up to New Year's?
Great question. That's like towards the end of the summer. So like within the last like 2-3 weeks of the summer.
So that's August to December.
Yeah. So that they break up. So like he was newly single. She was.
This is such bad behavior in my book. Like it's so bad to me.
And involves a 6-hour time delay. It was awful.
What?
For Gabe or for the friend?
For the friend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Gabe, I would have literally lost my mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I did. Did I make that clear?
I mean, you saw him walk in here with no pants on. He's still a mess.
I Here's
You
okay,
hugged
this
him.
is what
I would
this is
not.
what my thing is. Okay, yes, you were not there for your friend as they went through a breakup. I say this, their breakup wasn't that bad. If you are able,
It was pretty bad. It was pretty ugly.
Okay.
Very public.
Wait, can you expand?
are
just
they
like,
celebrities?
No, public at camp, everyone's a celebrity.
Oh,
Okay.
And it was like at the bar, and then people were drinking.
No, okay. Here's the thing. I feel like if your breakup is actually terrible, like, and I talk terrible not in the moment, terrible like long term, you're still working through it. You are not in another relationship 4 months later and telling your best friend.
Ooh, that's a hot
Right?
take. No, that's
Because
yeah.
I'm like, how bad was his breakup actually?
Unless
Like,
he's just so
he is-
full of love that
Because
like
this isn't like, oh, hey, on New Year's 4 months post breakup, I'm going to ask you, I've been thinking about this. No, they're already in a relationship, which they've been seeing each other like 2 months at least.
So there was no. This all gets explained in the show. There's my tickets now. But like, there's no.
so
it was
basically
like,
get tickets now.
Get tickets now. Promo code. DM me. So like, we break up at Thanksgiving. By New Year's, they're together. But like in that time frame, they
Okay,
say.
right,
So they're like,
right,
there's no
right,
cheating.
right,
quote unquote.
Thanksgiving.
So it's like they've been together 3 weeks, 4 weeks,
I'm not buying that.
maybe the day of. Yeah, I mean,
What do you know what they bonded over? Just out of curiosity.
This is not a thing that I say in the show, but it's a thing I've like written down, which is like, it must have been so hot when they got together. We're like, wow, no Gabe.
I mean, I've seen that episode of Frasier. You know, where they're just fighting the tension and then they just like kiss and the audience goes nuts.
Yeah, I was there, not to be like such an office person, but like Roy dates
Oh yeah.
Pam. I was there, Roy. Everybody's somebody's Roy. I'm not the main character.
That's you know what? I think I have a verdict.
Okay, what do you
but it's
think, Jen?
unexpected.
Oh,
I'm gonna say bad behavior because you didn't believe in yourself.
Oh, I definitely didn't believe in myself.
Yeah, you should have believed in yourself more. You should have not hugged him. You should have kicked him in the nuts and said, "You butt fucker."
That's really funny you say that. That's a thing I say in the show. I say a lot of people. I do like 20 minutes of musical theater jokes. I have like a lot, Stephen Sondheim. There's a whole section. And at the end, I'll give away one of the jokes, which is like a lot of people ask me why I didn't punch him in the face.
Yeah.
And to those people, I say, "Did you miss all the musical theater stuff?" Because that's just like not what I was going to do.
did you talk again to him after all of this?
So this is not in the show. This is a DVD extras.
Okay.
Okay.
We ended up working together that next summer at summer camp, but like we're not friends. And we would talk like professionally, like, "Oh, I have this camper wants to talk to your camper."
Yeah.
And like we would every once in a while like joke around a little bit, but like then he asked me, this is in the show, this became in the show recently, which is like later he asked me, it's like, "Hey, do you want to hang out? Do you want to go to a concert?" And I said no.
Okay.
So that's where I kicked him in the,
Yeah.
what did you call him? A butt fucker?
Butt fucker. Just a stupid butt fucker.
Yeah, because I feel like the only reason I would go bad with your behavior is if like you weren't like protecting yourself and like putting a really strict boundary between you and him. Like the only thing that I was like swaying on was the hug, I guess, ultimately. That's almost too kind. Because I think in the moment being really kind is beautiful, but also I don't
worst.
know. No, I think it's like great because you can look back and be like, okay, I was moral high ground.
That's what I
But
wanted.
then also, like, I think there's like part of, I don't know, there's part that's like, are you standing up for yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
but I think you ultimately did end up standing up for yourself by being like, I'm not going to like
go to this concert with
go
you.
to this concert and be
Dr.
like,
Phil- I Dr. Phil'd
okay.
You Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
You said, "Hey, yo," I can't do a Dr. Phil impression, but you get where I was going.
Okay, so I'm going good behavior, I think. For sure. I mean, like, these are number one enemies in my book. But that means we have an impasse player. You basically, if you feel like you should be punished or should be rewarded in this situation, you can choose a side and argue for that position.
Wow.
And kind of help us sway us. And should we put a minute on the timer?
Yeah. Timer begins now.
No one is or at least I am not a victim in this situation. I don't like to think that I am. I like to think that when you're in a love triangle, it's an equilateral triangle. So you have an equally strong relationship to the guy than you do to the girl. And I was involved in a situation. I was at times a shitty friend. I was probably a shitty person to date at the time. Long distance, white iPhone 4. needy texts.
We didn't know about the iPhone 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to date myself. And so I was an equal participant in this, which is not to say that I deserved the bad behavior, like the reaction that I got, but I was involved in a situation that went poorly that I was an equal part of.
Okay.
And I think if I were to do it again differently, I would have the confidence to know, I'm 22 years old. I'll probably meet somebody else.
Yeah.
The world is not ending. But I didn't have that.
5 seconds.
I didn't have that perspective, and so every moment felt like the world's biggest deal.
Okay, so your time is up.
And I, it's all my fault, and I'm so sorry. No.
Okay, so you're swaying us to go bad for you.
Well, I'm so excited because do you want to? Well, first of all,
he's been deemed bad behavior. Okay, well that's hard for me, but I'll be swayed. Okay, so as your punishment. I know you're quaking in your boots.
Terrified.
Your punishment today will be reading aloud a terrible celebrity apology. And today we've picked out Mario Batali.
I love... Do I get to talk about the cinnamon rolls at the end? Because he did include a cinnamon roll recipe in the apology.
It is that. Beautiful. It is that. And if you want to even make up a recipe for the end, feel free.
Great. Before I start...
Yeah.
While I'm reading this, I am wearing orange Crocs. It's very important. As Mario Batali. Okay. As many of you know, this week, there have been some news coverage about some of my past behavior. I have made many mistakes, and I am so very sorry that I've disappointed my friends, my family, my fans, and my team. My behavior was wrong, and there are no excuses. I take full responsibility. Sharing the joys of Italian food, tradition, and hospitality with all of you each week is an honor and a privilege. Without the support of all of you, my fans, I would never have a forum in which to expound on this. I will work every day to regain your respect and trust. In case you're searching for the holiday-inspired breakfast, these pizza dough cinnamon rolls are a fan favorite. Wow.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Wow.
Well, how do you feel?
Yeah. Do you feel like your guilt has been lifted after reading that apology?
I do. I feel no, actually I don't. I feel like I feel like I just ate an entire roll of pizza dough cinnamon rolls and want to die.
Yeah.
This apology is the equivalent of eating an entire tray of that food. Where you're just like, it's a huge mistake. God, who was advising him on this?
That's a cinnamon on a pizza roll. I don't know. Cinnamon and the pizza.
As an Italian American, it's really insulting that he would include sharing. What does it say? Sharing Italian food with you each week, and then ending with pizza dough cinnamon rolls are a fan favorite.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
So much.
This was delightful. Tell people where they can follow you and how to get tickets for your show.
Yes, at Gabe Mollica on Instagram is the easiest. In there's links to all my shows, New York, LA, hopefully more. If you DM me, I'll send you a promo code that saves you a bunch of cash. That's the easiest.
Wow, that's really considerate.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, pay full price, fuckers.
So please follow me and keep supporting these two. This is a great show.
Thank you.
It's hilarious.
God, stop.
Well, thank you so much again for coming on today.
My pleasure.
And that's our show. Thanks so much for listening today.
We absolutely hate to do this. We hate it.
But it would mean the world to us if you can subscribe to the podcast wherever you get podcasts, rate and review.
Follow us at Bad Behavior NYC on Instagram and TikTok. Thanks again for listening.
And remember, whatever your moral status, we are always here to judge. Bye. Do you think that was good?
Feel the whoa with Listerine at BJ's. You can save $2.50 now on Listerine products like Total Care Anti-Cavity Fluoride Fresh Mint Mouthwash or Cool Mint Pocket Packs Fresh Breath Strips at your nearest BJ's location. Experience the feeling of a million germs zapped in seconds with Listerine. Discount available through December 24th. Save now, only at BJ's.
This break is brought to you by Adobe Photoshop. Here's a fun fact. Every day, millions of people around the world use Photoshop to create all kinds of cool stuff.
designs for t-shirts and posters, graphics to promote brands and businesses, images for social and websites. Anyone can do it. And to the guy who put a bulldog's head on a parakeet's body, you, sir, are a genius. Get started for free today. Click or tap the banner to head over to Photoshop.com.